command line argument spoofing is another very nice trick that you can use during your operations. So let's jump straight into the code. And this code is actually so an author of that code is Adam Chester. I've only changed that slightly, but most of it is a work of Adam. Okay, and this technique relies on several steps. So we want to hide our arguments given to the process we want to start. Okay, to do that, we start our process in a suspended mode. Okay, so in our case it's a notepad with some bogus argument. And one thing you have to keep in mind here is that to make it as long as possible, because this length can be set once. Okay, so no matter what you put it here, just make sure that it is longer, at least longer than the new argument you want to pass to the process. Okay, so we start the notepad in suspended mode. Okay, and then we extract a process information block from that process. Okay, and the reason is we want to do that. We want to get our hands on the pointers pointing to our command line in the notepad process to change that. Okay, so we are extracting. So what we do, we get process basic information from our notepad. So PI is a process information structure which got filled after create process call. Okay, so we have a process handle to it, and we read the process basic information, which is stored here, and then we extract the entire process environment block of notepad. Okay, pab local is actually a type of pab. So with that, we can now get the process parameters. Okay, so we are extracting process parameters from pab, and now we are ready to change the command line from notepad and some bogus stuff like reading kernel32.dll, which doesn't make sense at all, but we want to change that with reading another file. Okay, and keep in mind you have to put a null byte at the end, and again this length has to be shorter than this length. Okay, now so we are preparing our spoofed arguments, and now we can write them into the command line buffer, because parameters are type of RTL user process parameters. So this structure has a field called command line, and in the buffer we can write our new arguments for our process. Once that's done, we could resume the process like here. Okay, but before that we can actually hide this new arguments from like process hacker or process explorer or even task manager. And to do that, we set up a new length of our command line, and the new length is set to 22. And the reason, so this number comes from the number of characters for our process. So in this case it's notepad.exe, which gives 11 characters, but we are dealing with Unicode, so you have to multiply this by 2, so it gives you 22, right? And at this offset we write a new length of our argument of our command line, and with that call we make Process Hacker and Process Explorer and Task Manager sort of blind to see what the actual command line looks like. Okay, so let's compile that and let's see this in action. So let's run it. So we should see, so this is our notepad in suspended mode. Okay, so let's hit enter. The implant is has finished, but now notepad is running as command line is completely like empty, only the name of the process, although we know that the notepad has actually opened our boom.txt file. And so let's see how this looks from the Process Explorer perspective, and we have it in here, process proc explorer.exe, except okay, and let's scroll down. So command line is also sort of empty, right? What about Task Manager? So let's see more details. Can we see it here? Oh, interesting. It can, we can see that it has opened a boom.txt, but if we go to details and let's select columns and add command line, we actually do not see that the file was opened from the command line. Okay, so yep, that's another trick you can use in your during your operations. Very nice trick to spoof your command line arguments.